This is Fight Fans Radio.
Hey, what's going on? This is BJJ Radio. I'm the host, Real DWC, aka David Carroll. Unfortunately, Jerwell P is not here today, and this time it's actually not a joke. I'm solo dolo mic, just me on this mic, and we're gonna have a great show. I'm losing my voice if you can't tell. My moneymaker is a little bit strained today. I've been yelling for about 6 straight hours, so bear with me. Just taking a sip. So that's what that dead air was. So deal with that. I don't know about you guys, but we're lucky enough to have one of the best UFCs just past this weekend. And man, Josh Thompson looked amazing. I called that. Mir let me down, but I still love him. And Matt Brown shocked the crap out of me, and of course, the main event was very close. But people talking way too much crap. I did call Gilbert El Nino Melendez, and I watched the fight really closely, and I thought Henderson did enough to win. So if you guys haven't watched that event yet, I just spoiled it for you. I apologize, but. Yeah, that's all. So tonight we have Darson Hemmings on, BJJ brown belt. He's also one of the best grapplers probably in Canada right now. I would have to say he's up there. Not too many people. He's one of the brown belts best out there, period, let alone Canada. His accomplishments, very long list. He's done some of the best things that we have seen. So let's get ready to talk to him very soon. Next week, actually, we actually have Alexander Trans on Checkmat, black belt. He looks like Thor, the Viking, man. He's one of the biggest dudes. He's right up there. He's always been battling in the finals lately. He's having some good years, and he has some more brilliant years ahead of him. So I think we'll be speaking with him next week. But subject to change. It may change, but you never know. So let's get this interview on their way, since we ran behind today, and we'll do that. All right, guys. So let's get ready.
Hello.
Hey, may I speak to Darson Hemmings, please?
Speaking.
All right, you're live on BJJ Radio. I'm the host, Real DWC, aka David Carroll. How are you?
Not too bad. Just here watching vids, the usual.
Yeah, so what are you watching exactly?
Normally I'm watching the Meow Bros. Today I'm taking a break. I'll be watching Rafael Mendez and Galera Mendez. Looking for that old school classic Berimbolo.
Yeah, that's still hot fire. I thought that would have burnt out by now, but it's still going strong.
Oh yeah, the Berimbolo, you can't go wrong with it. It's actually just being revolutionized now to that next level of just so many different variations, going under the guy and just from there going to work, trying to capture the hook and, get to that back by any means.
That's unreal. We'll get to that later on what specifically, how you break down videos, because I've read on your Facebook and whatnot, you're quite the avid studier of jiu-jitsu. So I'd like to talk about that a little bit later instead of jumping all over the place. Let's start this off with I've known and seen you now for a couple years. So when did this all begin? And when did you actually start grappling? Because the first time I saw you, if that's around when you started, you've skyrocketed faster than the average person.
Yeah, I guess you say something like that. I began, I'd say, back when I was 18. You know, I was actually introduced to martial arts as a whole back in London, Ontario, and basically I was taught a little bit of jiu-jitsu, a little bit of Muay Thai from the famed Sean Tompkins himself and a couple of his guys, Mark Hominick. So right away, I had a big influence on me, learning from like some of the greats, all-time greats in London, Ontario. And then by the time I moved out here in Toronto, the big city where there's so much martial arts going on and everything just, amplified, I just right away knew I had to get into a gym and, start putting in work, start training jiu-jitsu because I knew right away that was my passion. Just so exciting, so different, so creative. I knew right away the moment I did it. The moment I did my first armbar, I knew this is my thing for sure.
Unreal. So moving on, you're here and you're doing the jiu-jitsu in Toronto. And when did you realize that you were thinking about perhaps going down a path of being a competitor opposed to just someone who is doing the art and just enjoying their time on the mats, opposed to going out there and collecting medals and showing people their skill sets?
Well, it's really strange, I think, because before I even competed, I knew what I wanted to do. After my first taste of jiu-jitsu, I moved from London, Ontario to be with my family here in Brampton. And, well, at the time I was living in Brampton. Now I'm in Toronto, more closer to my gym. But however, I knew right away it was what I wanted to do because I moved here, I was smoking. I stopped smoking. I was eating unhealthy and drinking. I stopped drinking. And I would make sure to run every single morning, do my morning run to try and stay in shape. And I have a little punching bag in my basement. And I'll be punching that thing all day, all night, trying to just compete, trying to train, basically to compete MMA at the time. I wasn't too sure exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to compete. I knew I wanted to do it professionally. I was looking for different gyms in the States I could go for to help push me forward. I never actually got that far to go to the States, but only because I found very good training here locally.
Now, you're saying your gym, currently, are you just training as an athlete or are you also coaching other athletes?
I'm pretty much training full time now. I'm over at Open Mat MMA, being cared for as a full time athlete, so I can focus on my work, which is to get onto the battlefield and and perform. But I've been around teaching a lot, so like for me, teaching is like just another way to learn, another tool to like learn jiu-jitsu from and improve my game. So I've used that tool a lot, and I've been fortunate enough to teach all over Toronto and Brampton, and even taught in high schools, teaching young kids self-defense in a program that I'm involved in over in Peel region. And so I've taught all over. I've trained with some of the best guys in Canada for sure. Misha Serkinov, Ostat, Minarski, Michael Imperato, Merrick Nowak, some top talent here in Toronto and Canada. Been fortunate to train with my early years as well.
Amazing. For maybe people that might not know you out there, we have a lot of people listening scattered around North America and wherever else. It might seem like you've just been coming out of nowhere at brown belt, or especially in the gi now. Have you competed in gi before this year? Which sounds kind of weird to ask you, but I never ever seen you compete in a gi personally. And then all of a sudden you're off to you win the trials. You're off to Abu Dhabi. You're doing all these amazing things in the kimono. So I was just wondering if you could clarify that.
Well, it all kind of started back in 2011 after I won the Pan Am Gold at my weight class, and I came second at purple belt in the open weight class. So now I'm fighting like giants, beasts, and these guys are all like going to war, but we're doing the no gi. And after like shortly after that, I realized that like I have potential to do really great in the sport. I came second, weighing in 135 pounds at the Pan Ams, fighting guys well over 200 pounds, and taking them out. So that was a huge accomplishment for me. And word got out, Ryan Hall heard about it. And from there, he actually he sent me an invitation through Facebook, telling me to come train at the gym. And, of course, I took it, right away. And the best part was once I went there, I was all into no-gi. I was so happy to be doing no-gi. I only had one gi at the time. I only owned one gi. And to this day, I don't own very much gis. But, thanks to Shoyoroll, just recently getting me that sponsorship, that's going to change. But when I was down with Ryan Hall, I got to take in a lot of his gi lessons as well, learning the gi and appreciating it, because before I'd be like, oh, gi, it's so sticky, I can't do much. But having Ryan Hall there to clarify things for me, like right away, was just, super, super great for me. Gave me a huge head start. And the moment I came back, I began competing in the gi, every now and then, because I would always be doing the no-gi tournaments. I would just jump into the gi side too and compete. And right away, I was always medaling. Within like a month of training, when I came back, I did the gi like on and off. I started putting on a little bit more, but not really, just for fun. And I actually competed. I did the World Pro Trial in Montreal. I came second next to my now teammate at Open Mat, Ostap Minarski. I also did, plenty of local tournaments, and I would consistently place getting double gold in the no-gi and usually taking like double silver in the gi. So I knew right away I had potential in the gi, but it wasn't going to be easy. I had to work hard at it and learn it. And the best part was the way I play my no-gi game was very similar to how you should play in the gi. Very, sticky. I'm always trying to hook the spider hooks and lasso, de la hiva. Very open guard. So it just really went well when I tried to play in the gi. It was like pretty much as I did no-gi my whole career, I found that I was always trying to emulate a gi, like a gi type of game. So by putting the gi on, I would no longer have to emulate it. I could just play how it should be played. And it just came out very smooth. And now, man, I pretty much, I don't take my gi off.
That's amazing. You just came into brown belt, and you come off and you bang out Pan Am's the rooster weight, correct?
Yes, the rooster weight.
Now,
Only
is that your
because,
first time competing at rooster, or is that a good weight for you?
No, like a lot of people think I just cut a lot of weight for it, but really my body frame is pretty small. It's just I eat a lot of junk food. But the moment I clean up my diet, the first week I'm back down to like under 140. I'm usually around like 135. But then it's just a matter of eating healthy and training, conditioning my body like I should be anyway. And right away I dropped down to about 130, very low 130s. So it's not much of a weight cut for me. But however, yes, I'm not used to it, because all my life, like especially people didn't realize that, because I'm always winning the open weight class, and I'm always winning at like 135 to 150 even. I would normally compete around that weight because I didn't like to cut weight. So I would compete pretty heavy, usually 141, 150s, and I would always do the open weight class fighting guys with giants, 250. So it's very hard to believe that here I am, a small rooster weight competing. But however, yes, that was the case. I was very, I would have to make up with my speed, and, I'm always gripping to make up for the lack of size that I have. So it wasn't the hardest weight cut. It was, it was punishing, like, after not cutting weight for a long time. But apart from that, though, like, I had my cheat days eating pizza and burgers and just, eating all the wrong food, but I still made weight just because, that's my body's natural way, I think, in a lot of ways, and just a little bit too short for the weight class above.
Nice. Now, obviously, results gold. You can't ask for much more. But was it a challenge competing at rooster weight, like your body and going live in those rounds, or was this a smart choice? Like, will you stick around at the Rooster, or is that just?
Yes, actually, I have Worlds coming up next month,
Yes.
World Championships, and I plan to get that gold. Um, I'll be two-time world champion, one in no gi, one in the gi, and to help accomplish that, I will be cutting weight again. This time around, I'm gonna do a lot healthier from ahead of time, so that way my body can perform better because I did feel very good. I felt very technical. I really wanted to have the size advantage, which is like not just width, but especially in the height department. And I definitely felt that my body felt really tall, which is like, and as a guard player playing spider guard and open guard, having those long limbs is like a key factor. So I may not always have the long limbs, but when I cut down to my weight, to my appropriate weight class, I definitely feel like I'm that guy with the long limbs, which is very important to have. And apart from that, I have this strength advantage, this size advantage as well, which I've always believed has had this natural strength and speed. I'm always an athlete. The height, I just have advantages in all the departments. Apart from my cardio might suffer just a tad bit, but in a chess match, I'm not trying to go 100% the whole match. I try to control the pace and control the tempo, which means I could go for 20 minutes if I want. My hands might be burning, but my cardio is very, I could run a marathon after. But however, the grips, I'm always having such intense grip fights, which don't require cardio per se. It's more about a strength advantage there, holding on and maintaining my grip.
Absolutely. After that, like the open weight, were you supposed to compete in that? Because I was just wondering, watching it live on the stream, instantly after winning gold, even though you're one of the smaller people, you said you've always been game to open weight. So instantly you start thinking of all these crazy matchups, the brothers, the Meows, Keenan, AJ Agamazar. Like, were you supposed to compete in that? And if
Yes,
so, what was
right
what
after
happened?
I told my buddies I wanted to do it, because that's what I'm all about. I think that's what I'm known for. Really, is that taking out the open weight class and doing very well in it compared to much bigger guys. And it was funny because for this weight cut, it's been a while since I've cut weight, and what happened is right after making that weight, or right after weighing in, I was eating so much food because I was trying to regain my weight and regain at least have enough to kind of allow my body to compete at the level I wanted to. And what I found really held me back was that I ate so much food that now it was beyond bloated. Like I was just in the car after trying to lay out, trying to like just lay off and just relax because I had so much food in my stomach I couldn't believe. Like I must have gained like all my weight back right then and there. I wouldn't be surprised. Because like in between matches I'd be eating so much food, and then preparing the last couple of days I was like very tired, just trying to like think about the tournament. So it was like lack of sleep, and just the way I prepared my weight gain was just a little bit. It could have been better, could have been a little bit healthier, and I should have held back, and prepared because the job wasn't over yet. I won my championship, but however I did really want to capture the open weight class as well. At least place on that. I know some great guys, like the Meows, the Keenans, you have some top-notch guys in there. The AJs, like you were saying, those have been some great matches. But I definitely didn't prepare properly. But that was one thing I'm gonna do differently for this tournament is that I wanted to make sure I'm fully, prepared for the Worlds. I'm gonna not only change my diet up so I make weight easier, because before I was trying to do it I did maybe like the last 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks, just cut the weight like that. It was just that easy for me. So this time, I'm about like a month out, maybe a little more. So I make sure I take my diet seriously and, lose the weight properly and regain it properly. That would be the most important thing, to not only win my weight class, but I wanted to win the open weight class as well.
Nice, absolutely. That'd be phenomenal, to be honest.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is, how was the trip to Abu Dhabi for the people, the listeners, and the people that listen after that don't know? You just did compete at the Abu Dhabi Pro in Abu Dhabi. at brown belt. And how was your experience going there? And how beautiful is this city?
Oh man, couldn't be any more beautiful. The weather was nice. Right when we landed, pretty much we were like taken care of. Some guy came up with a sign, Abu Dhabi competitors, and we just kind of followed him. From there, we got put to the hotel, and we're all trying to figure out our rooms together. All the black and brown belts were in one hotel, purple belt and below were in a different hotel. And my original partner was supposed to be JT Torres, and Keenan was actually supposed to be with DJ Jackson. But however, because there's stipulation, how they are right now, it's like, kind of rivalries to some degree. It was funny because they came to me and approached me telling me if you want to switch up rooms. So, I'm very nonchalant. I didn't really care. I just said sure. And my roommate ended up being DJ Jackson. So I roomed with DJ for the whole week while JT and Keenan roomed together in return. So it was pretty fun. I learned a lot from these guys. Just, we're always talking jiu-jitsu and kind of see how their training schedule is, how hard they work, and it was really cool to take in all the information. We had a training facility, and it was nice because we'd all meet up there at certain times. Well, guys are there at all times of the day, and try to put in that mat time and just going in there, whether I'm rolling with the highest level guys or I'm just sitting there watching, studying them. It was just amazing to learn. And so it's like a private, but even better because I'm in there with Homila Bahal, the Meows, Gianni Grippo. I'm in there with, the best guys in the world, Leandro Lowe, Keaton Cornelius, all these guys are just there training, and I get to see how they train compared to how I see them in competition. And not just for 10 minutes, but for like maybe 3-4 days, I got to just watch them train and observe and come back with just like a head full of knowledge to bring back to my gym at Open Mat and share with my training partners. And since then, he's been doing so. I've been watching a lot of the Meow Bros while I was there. I was actually fortunate enough to compete against Meow, the older, or not the older one, but the acclaimed better Meow, his older brother or his brother Paulo. I got to give him a match, and it was amazing.
Hey, yeah, can you run us? Actually, first, did you get to roll with? I heard everyone's just sitting around hanging out, and they don't really care because it's not the competition yet. Who did you end up rolling with? That was like pretty cool because like I could tell you're a fan of these people as well as a competitor. So was there any people you got to roll with that you were just like, man, this is pretty damn cool?
Well, it was funny because a lot of guys there, like, I think jiu-jitsu guys are the most like shy guys in them all because we kind of keep to ourselves, and you know what I mean. But however, guys were mingling, going around, talking to each other, and I found for me the best guy I rolled with was Gianni Grippo. To roll with the Meow Bros, that would be great. But however, that was like one of my main competitions, so I didn't really see that happening, and not many guys got a chance to really to roll them in the brown belt division. They were rolling more black belts and stuff, and it was kind of different. I found mainly like the Brazilians would stick together. People who have the same country would roll with each other. I kind of clicked with the.
So you had one person to hang out with?
Yeah, I had a couple, but mainly it was like Gianni Grippo. I'm trying to remember his teammate, Jonathan Sativa, Marcelo Garcia, up and comer legend over there, doing very well. So
he's an animal.
Hanging out with him, yeah, just a beast. Everyone was just kind of clicking, but the main guy I got to roll with in my division, I was happy to say, was Gianni Grippo. He's doing very well. He actually won the Abu Dhabi on the weekend, and won the huge prize money and everything. So congratulations to him.
Yeah.
But I really did want to roll with the Meow Bros, but I got to observe them for weeks days upon days, just learning their game. So to me, that was just as good, if not better, and then get a chance to roll him too in competition. So it was pretty good.
Absolutely. Can you just maybe run through your match with the Meow, Paulo Meow, during Abu Dhabi? And
Sure.
Was it
Well,
anything
but
you expected, or is it exactly what you thought it would be?
sorry about that. I would have to say, well, first of all, my first match was pretty close. Like I fought a Russian, Team Russia. Got into my position, close guard and Baron-Bolos, and pretty much was all over him until the very end. He, I think what he did was he chose to go for an ankle lock, an illegal ankle lock, and got DQ'd for a knee reap position. But however, before that, he was just kind of being pushed back and didn't have much options left. But then from there, my next match was Paulo Miao. He, I guess you could say, went what I had planned from when I was watching him on the weekend. I knew we were gonna enter a double guard pull, and we battled from there, kind of like what happened with Keenan. And it was very defensive. I would say like he was pretty much trying to invert and get to my back, but he's so far away, the chance of getting to the back was very slim. But Miao, he just keeps inverting, keep attempting those Baron-Bolos, and I'm just hand fighting. And what I found was that I really held him off was how I would attack my 4-finger grip, I call it. And instead of grabbing the sleeve, I go down to the hand, right next to the wrist. I go for 4 fingers. I wrap them up, which gives me not quite the same control as a sleeve, but however, by actually holding his fingers or his lower half of his fingers, he can't use that hand to grab a hold of me. So he couldn't finish his Baron-Bolo attempts. So I would pretty much just be defending Baron-Bolos. He's inverting. I'm inverting as well, trying to go for my Baron-Bolo. And maybe 1 minute left, less than a minute left, he gets on top. And this comes up for his advantage. He couldn't get to my back, and I went for like a knee bar attempt, grabbing or underhooking his leg, trying to attack the knee bar. He's trying to attack a leg drag 50-50 kind of situation, and the match pretty much got stalled out there. I couldn't get my knee bar. He couldn't get the pass, so he ended up winning by the advantage.
Wow.
Yeah, such a close match.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty much how I had planned it. Like, I kind of wanted to get up for the advantage first, but I didn't realize how much time went by. Like, we were just like going at it, move for move, grip for grip, and reach and a hand fight and push the pace to some degree.
Nice. I was just wondering if we could talk about the ADCCs. You have qualified for this.
Yep.
Now, first of all, congratulations. That is one of the most ridiculous things ever. Unbelievable. This is everybody's probably biggest dream to ever compete in this. And how did it feel winning the trials? And how does it feel knowing that you're off to the ADCCs and probably, and it's my personal opinion, the toughest division there?
Well, it's really intense because I know, I would say my first years of doing jiu-jitsu, I knew that being a no-gi competitor and not doing a gi would give me a disadvantage. Like my exposure, I knew doing the gi was just such a huge event that you get so much more prestige. I would see it, but because of that, it made me more hungry to keep on doing no-gi and keep on showing, what's so great about the no-gi, and that worked. But at some point in my career, I started to doubt myself, will I ever make it to a major stage of jiu-jitsu? Will I ever get the respect that I feel like I want and deserve? And to get there, I'd have to first of all, not even just win, but get into the ADCC, which I thought would almost never happen. Not because of my lack of talent, but because of my lack of size. I know their lowest weight class is about 142, 143. And for me, that's my walk around weight, So guys are cutting down from 150, 160 to make this weight class day before weigh-ins, or so I knew it would be very hard for me to compete against much bigger guys. But however, I went down to San Diego anyway, little money to my name just to kind of, show that, no-gi jiu-jitsu lives here in Canada. So I went out there, very little money, and just kind of put it all on the line, and sure enough, jiu-jitsu prevailed, and I made it into the ADCC, which is a huge moment in my life because before I went over to doing the gi, I was doing that to kind of to make up for my lack of gi training. My plan was to make it into ADCC one day and get my exposure from there. But now I see that I have a chance through doing the gi to get the same exposure through doing tournaments like the Mundials and the Pan Ams and the Abu Dhabi, the Abu Dhabi World Pro. So I was really happy and fortunate for those opportunities as well. But to get into the Nogi ADCC in China, that is definitely like where I originally had planned and seen myself once I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. Not MMA, but when I fell in love with jiu-jitsu, that was my goal, was to make it there. I was a big Garcia fan, and to watch the ADCC, I was like, just what I gotta do, because the Nogi Worlds is great, but it's nothing like the Mundials. And the Nogi Pan Ams is great, but the the gi pans, the pans that happen in the gi, were just way more exposure. Your sponsorships are looking for those tournaments. Those are major tournaments to not avoid. So by going out and doing those now, I feel like it would just kind of help, push me out there, get my name out there, and hopefully guys recognize that I'm not just a no-gi guy. I'm definitely a kimono fighter as well. So I'm loving both, and definitely will continue to do both in the future as well.
Excellent. You are in a division with Rafa Mendes. Now, does that excite you? Because, obviously brackets aren't up now, but it's quite possible that could be your first match of the day. Or does this make you want to puke?
It excites me, I know that I've been working a lot of my no-gi game lately. Like I've been doing more gi, to be honest. But through doing the gi, I realized that like when I take the gi off, there's room for me to capitalize on my opponents because of the lack of grip. So, and likewise for them to capitalize on me, it's like if I make a mistake because I don't have my grips on me, I can kind of get out of weird situations. So I'm kind of prepared for what Rafa Mendes has. Like, me and him have a very popular role on YouTube. Everyone loves it. You see us kind of flow rolling. But since then, I was just a boy back then. That was like 3 years ago. My first private was somebody from a big name, and from that day on, it changed my life. I felt the best. So I don't have to worry about the rest. And that was the mentality going into my competitions, was that knowing I felt the best. So who are these guys? I felt the very, very best, the top guy at the time. So now I look back and I see the same game, the Berimbolo, and myself, I became a pretty big Berimbolo artist. So figuring that out is going to help me a lot too, to get through and capitalize on his mistakes. But it won't be easy, but I'm looking forward to it for sure. Looking forward to a little double guard pull battle, Berimbolo, defending some leg drag for sure. But like no gi, those are definitely defendable, and there's room for error. So hopefully it'll make a really good hand fight, and I believe it'll be a good match.
Amazing. So you're talking about getting the respect you deserve, or starting getting recognized, outside of your hub of Toronto or even in Canada, by doing some gi now and with the ADCCs. What do you see? What would pan out to be idea for you? Like, let's say you get the respect, then what do you want? Like, what do you plan on accomplishing remainder of Brown, and like, is there other stuff you have in the back of your head that you'd like to get out there and do tours around the world, seminaring, instructionals?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Let us in on something.
I plan on doing a little instructional series with one of the main training partners, O-Staff. We're gonna kind of go over, little techniques for like the white to blue belts, and kind of help them out with modern, more popular type of jiu-jitsu, not just the regular boring stuff, but what's being played right now, what's hot right now. We'll be doing a mini instructional series on that, as well as I would love to travel the world and teach my instructionals and teach people what I'm all about, and as well as far as competing goes, because I love to teach, but I always go back to I'm a competitor. And I feel like one of the main things I would like to do is to, not only win the Brown Belt World Championship, of course, continue to win a couple different opens, like the European Open and whatever. But my main goal, which I see is definitely close to being accomplished now, would be moving up to that black belt level and conquering the roosterweight there, which has some very good talent like Bruno Malfacine and Kyle Terra. So I would love to, go down to that weight class where I believe I'm strong, I'm tall, and definitely put on a show down there. Hopefully fighting, one of those two guys, if not both of them, and showing guys just exactly what Canada can do, being I believe, the first Canadian black belt world champion at the black belt level.
Yeah, I don't believe it has happened either. So that'd be phenomenal. Is there any sponsors or people you'd like to thank before we wrap this interview up? Someone you just want to, you can plug anything also, man. If you got something you want to tell or people could reach you for private, anything you want, just it's your time to plug stuff.
Well, whoever's trying to reach me for private, I just moved down the corner from my home gym, Open Mat, 593 Yonge Street, just right there at Yonge and Bloor. I'd like to first and foremost thank Open Mat MMA, which is my home gym, taking care of me and having such great training partners at all times of the day. Thanks Shoyroll, which is my full-time sponsor right now, taking care of me, getting my gear hookup, getting me out to my fights, and keeping me always looking good, in front of the camera. I'd like to thank, my close training partners, Merrick Nowak, Eric Fawn, Ostap, pretty much keeping me into the game at all times, keeping me modern and keeping me sharp. Pretty much it. Be out, if anyone's trying to find me, I'll be out competing in Montreal next weekend and the Ontario Open. So those are two local tournaments you can find me. After that, I'll be heading out to the Worlds in California to get it done, win that 2-time world championship.
Awesome. I really hope the best for you. I'm a big fan of yours. I've been a big fan for a couple of years now. Definitely at the top of the game and showing people, like you said, Canada does have some grapplers. I was wondering actually if we could end on this note. Maybe to the average person that might have seen you compete or heard about you, you seem like just a freak in nature. Is this hard work or are you just a talented person?
I believe it's hard work. I'm all about mat time. As I tell people, I might not train the best guys, but mat time at all times of the day. You have to go beyond just training. You have to really live it. Otherwise you're never gonna make it. You have to just, it's 2:00, let's just train. You and your buddies there, let's just train. Or whether it's 12:00 at night, let's just train. Just because if your body has the energy to do it, I do it. I don't really work out very much. If I have energy, I hope that, somebody around me knows jiu-jitsu, and I always have mats nearby, so we always just roll. Whether I go to my apartment or my buddy's apartment or my buddy's house or even my mom's house or my home gym, there's always mats around, and I'm always with a friend, and luckily I keep my circle very tight. All my friends are jiu-jitsu blue belts at least. My girlfriend does jiu-jitsu. Everyone's doing jiu-jitsu around me, so wherever I go, I always have jiu-jitsu to do. I never have to worry about lack of training partners, and I just do it all day. Don't stop, keep it natural.
Awesome. Well, I'd just like to thank you for taking time out of your since you put it that way, all day you took out time away from the mat, so thank you very much for speaking with us on BJJ Radio. We appreciate it, and we'll be keeping an eye on you and probably watching you live stream via Budo videos. So it'll be awesome, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, have a good one. Keep on rolling.
Thank you.
Toast.
All right, guys. So thank you very much for listening to BJJ Addict Radio. Of course, that was Darson Hemmings. Once again, thanks to him. Listen right now, guys. If you're listening just because you like the show and we have some good guests, Also, man, Google, YouTube this guy. Check him out. He has some of the craziest subs there. He's nasty footlocks. Like he says, he's doing the beer bowl. He's spinning under big folks. A lot of open weight out there on him. He's got a lot of vids out there. I believe he even had an MMA fight. He just triangles this dude. Uh, Real good stuff. So check him out. Support him. Keep your eye out on him. And yeah, he's got next. All right, guys. So thank you very much. I don't think I have much more to say. Alexander Trans will probably be on next week. Keep an eye out for that. And take care. Hang tight. And tune in next week, guys. Thank you very much. I'm out. I'm done.